Welcome back to Mindful Objective, the show where we explore health through an integrative and practical lens. I'm your host, Dr. Daniel Sproul, integrative health practitioner and professor. Today we're talking about longevity. We all want to age well, stay strong, and maintain our energy and clarity for decades to come. But healthy aging isn't just about living longer. It's about staying metabolically active, hormonally balanced, and mentally sharp as those years go on. So, today we'll explore what truly drives longevity from a metabolic health perspective and what real science based strategies can help us stay youthful on the inside and out. As always, this show is for educational purposes only. We do not diagnose, treat, or cure any illness or disease. Now, let's learn about living healthy and long. Longevity is not a lucky roll of the genetic dice. It's a daily practice of caring for the engine that powers every system in your body. That engine is your metabolism. When your metabolism runs smoothly, you have steady energy, reliable appetite signals, and strong recovery after all those activities. When it struggles, you will feel sluggish, hungry at odd times, and you'll also be inflamed. Over years, those small daily shifts will add up. They shape how you age, how fast you heal, how well your body and your brain perform. As we look out there, we see a lot of people on social media. You hear somebody, oh, they're 35 years old, and you look at them, and you're like, man, they look like they're 70. Different people age differently, and it makes you wonder why. Why do some people have gray hair, other ones do not? Why do some have great skin while others do not? It's a lot of things to think about. What goes into their diet? How's their nutrition? So right here, metabolic health is more than weight or calories. It's the way your cells turn food into energy, how they regulate your blood sugar and respond to stress. A key marker is insulin sensitivity. We just did that podcast a short time ago, but it's a major thing, insulin sensitivity and insulin. When your cells respond well to insulin, your body clears glucose from the body quickly and stores it safely. When your cells resist insulin, sugar lingers in the bloodstream and your body must pump more insulin to keep those levels within that range. That constant push wears you down. It adds fat around your midsection, raises blood pressure, and drives inflammation that touches every organ in your body. But here's the good news. Metabolic health is highly responsive to your habits. You can build flexibility so your body can handle both carbohydrates and fat. You can stabilize blood sugar with smart food choices. You can use movement, sleep, and stress tools to bring that system back into balance. You don't need extreme diets or expensive gadgets. Where's the first place to start? Start with your plate. Choose protein at each meal to steady blood sugar and support muscle. Add fiber from vegetables, berries, beans, and gluten-free whole grains to slow digestion and feed that gut. Use healthy fats from olive oil, avocado, nuts, and seeds to keep you satisfied. Reduce refined sugar and ultra-processed food snacks that cause spikes and crashes. Most people do not need to cut out all carbs. They need to pick slower carbs in portion that match their activity. Another thing, it's hard to give up snacks, but it's something we must do. So timing matters too. Eat the bulk of your calories earlier in the day when insulin sensitivity is better. Aim for 12 hours overnight fast unless your doctor advises you otherwise. Some people benefit from longer fast windows, but that's not for everyone. Some people go with that 16-hour fasting or fast for days, but again, it's not for everyone. And we see a lot of organic acid tests that shows a lot of the people that are fasting thinking it's good for them, it's actually harming them. So if fasting raises stress, if it triggers headaches or leads to overnight eating, pull back. Longevity is not a test of willpower. It's a plan you can sustain, one moment at a time. Another thing is movement. It's a metabolic reset button. 10-minute walk after meals lowers blood sugar. Strength training 2 to 4 times a week increases lean tissue, which acts like a sponge for that glucose. Gentle cardio improves circulation and heart health. You do not need long workouts, right? You don't need those 3-hour workouts. A good 45-minute workout 3 times a week is great. And then another thing we say is testing, right? A fasting insulin HbA1c test can show your blood sugar, how it's trending, how you're doing with that control. A lipid panel that includes triglycerides, HDL, those give hints to insulin resistance. Organic acid tests, as we always talk about, can flag issues with energy production, nutrient needs, and your oxidative stress. This data helps you get personalized. It allows you to take your health seriously because it turns vague goals into a concrete plan. And then we always talk about this, sleep and stress. This completes that picture. Short nights and constant worry spike cortisol, which pushes your blood sugar and keeps you in that survival mode that fights longevity. Fight or flight. Create a wind-down routine. Dim your screen, get off the phone, keep a consistent bedtime, use breathing drills. Short prayer, gratitude practices to settle your mind. Calm nights lead to better days, and better days builds years to your health. So longevity starts here. Care for your metabolism, and you care for your future self. The results show up with energy, your labs, and your confidence that you're doing work that truly matters for your health. Now, let's talk about protecting those cell engines as you age, which is mitochondria. These are those tiny structures inside the cells that make the ATP. We talk on this a lot. This is the energy currency of life. Think of them as thousands of small batteries that power movement, thought, digestion, and your repair. When these batteries are fully charged and well maintained, you feel strong and focused. When they get clogged by stress, toxins, or nutrient gaps, you feel flat. Over time, weak mitochondria speeds up aging. Strong mitochondria slows it down. Is that when you look at your neighbor? Do they have high mitochondria or slow mitochondria? Maybe able to tell that by the aging of their face. So what harms mitochondria? Repeated blood sugar spikes, chronic inflammation, poor sleep, and exposure to pollutants. These are all common drivers. So are heavy alcohol use, smoking, and long periods of sitting, which a lot of us are doing daily. Even constant, intense training without recovery can drain those same engines. The fix is not to avoid the hard things. The fix is to give your mitochondria the input and rhythm it needs to adapt and grow. And as we say, nutrients are first. Magnesium helps form ATP. B vitamins, especially B1, B2, B3, B6, and B12, these support the enzymes that move electrons through that energy cycle. CoQ10, CoQ10, this carries electrons inside of mitochondria, which keeps that chain running. Alpha-lipoic acid recycles antioxidants. Acetyl-L-carnitine helps shuttle fuel in that mitochondria for fuel. You can obtain many of these from food, but modern diets often fall short. Our food is not great quality. But a quality vitamin, magnesium glycinate, omega-3s, and targeted mitochondrial support can fill all of those gaps. So as we say, always work with a practitioner to match supplements with your needs and your medications. Breathe and movement delivers oxygen, which cells use to extract energy. Brisk walking, cycling, and swimming builds that oxygen. These all will stimulate mitochondria. Strength training tells your body also to protect muscle, and healthy muscle houses many mitochondria. Think of each rep as a signal to build that energy capacity. As we know, mitochondria also grows in response to mild stress. This is called hormesis. Short sauna sessions raise heat spike proteins that help cells repair. That's why I love saunas. Cold showers and brief cold exposure, are you jumping into that cold pool? This improves mitochondria efficiency and sharpens alertness. Another one's intermittent fasting. This can enhance cellular cleanup, which frees those batteries and the damaged parts. Start small. A few minutes of heat or cold is enough. A 12 to 14 hour overnight fast is often enough for many of us. More is not always better. Another thing too is toxins. Limit exposure to smoke, harsh solvents, and excessive alcohol. And use a water filter. And as we say, test, test, test. This will actually be able to show us what we need to see, how your body's doing. Always think, if you have a thyroid challenge, address them, since thyroid hormones set that metabolic pace for every cell. But how do you know? Until you test. Same with the macronutrient nutrient panel. Are you low on B vitamins? Organic acid test. Are you having energy production issues? Most important, treat your energy with respect. When you feel a dip, do not mask it with caffeine all day. Ask why. Do you sleep poorly? Did you skip protein? Have you been indoors for days? A 10-minute walk in daylight, a glass of water with minerals, and steady meal can restore what our cup of coffee cannot. So take your health seriously, meaning noticing these patterns and, of course, correcting it early. Strong mitochondria give you life to your years. Then you could think more clearly, move with ease, and recover from stress. Protect them and protect your longevity. You got to take your health seriously. Again, when's your health important to you? Then we must look at what's the advantage here with hormones and muscles. These are two sides of that same coin. Together they shape how you burn fuel, how you feel, how you age. After age 30, most people lose muscle each decade. That loss speeds up in 50s and 60s if you do not take action early. Less muscle means less strength, slower metabolism, and more fatigue and higher risk of falls and injuries as we age. The fix is simple. Lift, eat enough protein, and you'll recover well. Repeat this over and over. Muscle is not just for athletes, it's a metabolic organ. It stores glucose as glycogen for later use. It burns fat during daily activities. It releases myokines, which are signaling molecules that support your brain, heart, and immune system. When you keep muscle, you keep younger metabolism. You also protect joint health and posture, which keeps you active and independent. So for those of us that are aging, over 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, focus on that muscle. You need it. Protein here again is another raw material for muscle repair. We always harp on protein. First thing you wake up, get some protein. Aim for roughly 0.7 to 1 grams per pound of your body weight. Adjust for your situation. Like, are you working out more? Do you have more health issues? Maybe you need more. It's something you need to think long term about. Are you having enough protein, especially for your body? Are you aging to the point where you have certain health issues to where you even need more protein? There's just a lot that goes into this. So that's why we always say work with a health coach, integrative health practitioner, and we can get you on the right path. So what you want to do too, besides getting enough protein, is spread it across 3 or 4 meals. You want to hit that certain threshold, which stimulates muscle building. Choose high quality sources like egg, fish, poultry, lean meats, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, tofu, and legumes. Add creatine monohydrate if appropriate, right? We hear this a lot. It's well studied for a long time. Creatine's really good for a lot of people. It supports strength and cognition, and it is very affordable. Another thing is training. It doesn't have to be complicated. 2 to 4 total body sessions each week are enough. Focus on movements to carry over your life. What can you do as we age? Squats or sits to stands, hinge patterns like deadlifts and hip hinges, right? You want to move those hips. Push movements such as push-ups or incline presses. Pull movements like rows and pull downs. You could do carries also, which is holding 2 dumbbells and walking. Start with the weight that makes the last 2 reps challenging while keeping your form good. Progress slowly. Track your lifts to see how growth goes over the different months. Now let's talk about another important thing, hormones. In men, testosterone and DHEA often decline with age. In women, estrogen and progesterone shift around perimenopause and menopause. Thyroid functions can change in both sexes. These shifts affect both mood, sleep, muscle, and your fat distribution. The goal is to understand your pattern and support it. They may involve nutritional changes, stress strategies, and targeted supplementation. For some, it may involve working with a clinician to consider hormone replacement therapy. That decision should be informed by testing, personal history, and your risk profile. Our thing is useful labs. This include complete thyroid panel of TSH, free T4, free T3, reverse T3, thyroid antibodies. For sex hormones, a Dutch test panel or blood panel with total and free testosterone, estradiol, progesterone, SHBG, and DEA can clarify that status. Another good one is cortisol rhythm testing to show how your stress system is firing. When results come back, we create a simple plan. Improve sleep first, lift weights consistently, ensure protein and macronutrients are sufficient. Address alcohol intake, get away from alcohol. Many hormone complaints improve with these basic things, and women here deserve special attention. The transition around menopause can feel chaotic. Hot flashes, sleep disruptions, body composition changes, and mood swings can be discouraging, not just for you, but also for your spouse. Strength training, protein, omega-3s, magnesium, and gentle cardio will help a lot in this stage. You also want to support your gut health to improve estrogen metabolism. There's a lot of supplements for that too. So you want to discuss options like magnesium glycinate at night for sleep and adaptogens if appropriate, ashwagandha and so forth. Men should not ignore these symptoms either. Low drive, low morning energy, increased abdominal fat, and poor recovery are signals. Lift, eat well, and manage stress before you chase the shortcuts. If labs still point to deficiencies, speak with a qualified practitioner. Taking your health seriously means addressing root causes, not just numbers. Again, what do we focus on at Mindful Objective? Root causes. Let's get to them, right? Subclinical, what's happening? You want to protect muscle, respect hormones, keep training and fueling simple and repeatable. Make things easy. This combination raises your quality of life and improves your odds of staying strong for decades. Now on to a topic we really need to talk about, inflammation, oxidative stress, and your gut health. We got to slow that inner clock, right? Aging speeds when there's irritations inside the body that never get turned off. 2 main drivers are, we hear these a lot, inflammation and oxidative stress. Inflammation is a natural response to injury or infection. Oxidative stress is an imbalance between free radicals and antioxidants. Both are useful in short bursts. Both can cause damage when they're constantly running. The art of longevity is keeping these forces in check while your body heals and renews. Diet is the center of this. Highly processed foods, refined seed oils heated at high temperatures, and sugar snacks promote inflammation and oxidative stress in our bodies. On the other side, colorful plants provide antioxidants and polyphenols that quench free radicals. Build most meals with vegetables, fruits, herbs, spices, high quality proteins, and healthy fat. That's why we suggest always, you hear this all the time. Eliminate processed foods. Go to Whole Foods. Whole Foods, not just the grocery store, but buy whole foods, produce, fruit, meat. Stay away from anything box processed. So think berries, leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, onions, and garlic are another good one. Citrus, extra virgin olive oil. So again, you don't want to just go for basic olive oil or organic olive oil. You want extra virgin olive oil. Wild salmon, walnuts, turmeric, those are all good. You do not need perfection. You need a pattern that favors whole foods most of the time. Try to get all the time. Focus on those whole foods. And again, hydration. Hydration supports circulation and detox pathways. Aim for clear to light yellow urine. So a lot of people get this confused. Again, clear to light yellow. Add a pinch of sea salt or electrolyte mix if you sweat heavily or exercise in heat. Dehydration thickens the blood, slows lymph flow, and makes headaches and fatigue more likely. Small habit, big payoff. We always say, when in doubt, add electrolytes. We always add electrolytes. We use electrolytes daily. We always suggest, regardless, take electrolytes daily. That small pinch of sea salt, electrolyte mix. They're cheap, and it's definitely beneficial. A healthy intestinal lining keeps food particles and bacteria products inside the gut where they belong. When the lining gets leaky, immune cells react. Again, leaky gut. This can lead to joint pain, brain fog, skin issues, and fatigue. Support the gut with fiber, fermented foods if tolerated, and adequate protein. Again, back on that protein. Identify and reduce foods that clearly trigger symptoms. Consider a stool test to evaluate digestion, microbiome balance, and short-chain fatty acid productions and signs of inflammation. If infections or imbalances are found, follow a structured plan that clear them out and rebuild that gut. And again, sleep, right? Sleep is anti-inflammatory medicine you can practice nightly and for free. Deep sleep helps control immune signals and repair tissues. Create consistency. Keep your room cool and dark. Stop caffeine early in the afternoon. Dim lights an hour before bed. If your mind races, try a brain dump on paper. Box breathing or a short devotional, or go and listen to Unshakable Promises. That's a great podcast. Many people underestimate how much better their aches, mood, and cravings get after a week of true rest. But as we all know, it's hard to do. And as we say, movement, right? Mobility works to keep those joints nourished. As we age, we got to keep those joints moving. Walk on days you feel tired. Lift on days you feel stronger. The point is to keep moving in the way you enjoy. Again, if you don't enjoy it, you're going to stop it rather quickly. And consider targeted supplementation support. We always say omega-3s from fish oil reduce joint and cardiovascular inflammation. Curcumin supports healthy inflammatory response. NAC, NAC, and vitamin C help replenish antioxidants. Magnesium calms the nervous system and supports hundreds of enzymes. If stress is a major factor, adaptogens like ashwagandha, rhodiola, these may help, assuming they fit in your context. Again, always check for interactions with your physician. Toxins add friction to the system, so avoid those toxins. We always say, use glass, use stainless steel for food storage. Choose fragrance-free cleaning products. Vacuum and dust to reduce indoor pollutants. And if you want to clean my house for free, you're welcome to. Dusting's one of the worst things ever, but it must be done. Open windows when outdoor air quality is good. If you live in a high population area, consider the HEPA air filter for your bedroom. We have them in every room of our house, and they're needed for a reason. Well, not really every room, but all the bedrooms and living room and loft, they're in there. Finally, relationships and purpose matter more than most people realize. Social isolation raises inflammatory markers and shortens your lifespan. Schedule time with people who support your goals. Serve others. Volunteer. Join a faith group, a community group that align with your values. It's not just a feel-good trip. It's a longevity tool that's backed by real outcomes. Inflammation and oxidative stress are not your destiny. These are dials you can turn down with your daily choices. Make those choices, good choices, and slow your inner clock. Another one would be that longevity playbook, right? What's the final thing we need to do? What's your personalized plan? Well, longevity grows from simple actions we take daily. You have to do it with care. You do not need a perfect week. Again, nobody's perfect. You need to be real. We live in reality. You need just a clear plan, and you got to follow it most days. Here's a practical playbook. The first thing you got to do is define your goal in plain language, easy to understand. Live with energy to play with your kids and grandkids. Keep hiking into your 70s. Stay sharp with your work and the services you do. A clear purpose helps you stay consistent when life gets busy. Know what you plan to do and what your outcome wants to be. Second, get a baseline data. Check your fasting glucose, fasting insulin. Have your HbA1c tested, a lipid panel, triglycerides and HDL, complete thyroid panel, vitamin D, and kidney and liver markers. If you want deeper insight, consider organic acid test for energy and nutrient status, a stool test for your gut health, and a Dutch test for your hormones and cortisol rhythm. But besides Dutch test, we could do that with regular blood work too. Repeat key labs every 3 to 6 months to measure progress. Numbers keep you honest. They also help you take your health seriously because once you see your numbers and you say, oh man, my body's not doing too well, it makes you rethink things. Third, set daily anchors. Hydrate when you wake up. Had a short walk after meals. Eat a protein-rich breakfast. Block bedtime on your calendar like meeting in the future. Like, hey, I need to go to bed by 9 o'clock. Put it on that calendar. Make sure you focus on that. Keep track. These anchors make healthy choices automatic. When you miss one, you return to it the next day without guilt. It's in that calendar. I always say if it's not in my calendar, it won't get done. And I live by that. Fourth, build meals around protein and plants. Fill half your plate with vegetables. Add a palm or two of protein. Look at the size of your palm. You want protein about that size. Include healthy fats and slow carbs as your activity allows. Get avocado, get extra virgin olive oil. Batch cook once or twice per week so you have options ready when times are tight. Keep staples on hand such as eggs, canned salmon, frozen vegetables, pre-washed greens, olive oil, beans, and lentils. The fifth one would be train for life. 2 to 4 strength sessions per week or at least 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Make sure you're doing cardio, get out and walk, track your sessions, document this stuff to say, oh yeah, last Wednesday I walked for 45 minutes. Keep track of the stuff. Do a journal just like you do a food journal. Sixth, protect your nights. Start a wind down. Create a plan for that wind down. Lower your lights. Start stretching. Start reading more. Keep devices out of bed. If you wake up at night, keep the lights low. Breathe slowly and do not reach for your phone, which is a bad habit for many of us because many of us like to check the time for some reason, but we do it out of habit or we check for something else on our phone. Seventh, manage stress with small daily practices. 2 minutes of slow breathing before a meeting, a short prayer or gratitude note at lunch, a walk outdoors when tension rises. These movements reset that nervous system. Eighth, supplement wisely. Start with quality multivitamin, vitamin D3 with K2, magnesium, omega-3. Add targeted supplements like CoQ10, L-carnitine. These are great. Consider probiotics also and digestive enzymes if gut systems persist. Keep it simple and consistent and review that stack of your vitamins every few months. Do they need to be adjusted? Ninth one would be shape your environment. Keep a water bottle at your desk. Place dumbbells on the couch. Keep fruit visible and sweets out of sight. Set calendar reminders for movement breaks. Ask your family or friends to join you on walks or workouts so you kind of share that healthy habit. The 10th would be review and iterate. Every 2 weeks, reflect on your workout and what you did, what worked, what didn't work. If your energy's low, increase protein or move dinner earlier. If strength stalls, add set to your workout or add more weight. If cravings hit at night, eat a larger lunch or add protein-rich snack in the afternoon. Those were 10 major things right there. So lastly, we're going to wrap things up here, is choose a mindset of stewardship. Your body carries you throughout every relationship, every task, every calling. Caring for it is not just vanity, it's a responsibility. Taking your health seriously creates freedom. When's your health important to you? The time is now. It gives you the power to say yes to all those opportunities that are out there waiting for you because you need the energy and confidence to match with those opportunities. So build your playbook. Keep it personal. Keep it simple. Keep it going. And it doesn't have to be perfect. If you want to start optimizing your longevity and metabolic health, visit mindfulobjective.com and let us know how we can help. As always, remember, the information shared here is for educational purposes only and should never be taken as medical advice. Always consult with your qualified healthcare provider before making any changes to your health plan. Until next time, stay mindful, stay healthy, and remember, true longevity starts with how you live today. When's your health important to you? As John Cena says, the time is now.